And hopefully this is working. I'll just wait for people to rock up, and when I see the message I will start the stream. I'm going to have the splash screen now saying starting soon, just so I can get everything tested and up and running to make sure it's not a total train wreck like the other night when I get it started, to try and get some good continuity here, folks. Everything is working pretty well for the time being, but I just want to make sure. Start Building Me is a nightly training session that I developed in 2020 from the pandemic. There's no reason not to train every day, folks. I'm trying to form a good, healthy habit for everybody to really drill into them that exercise is something that they need on a daily basis. It's not a 3 times a week sort of thing. It's something where you really have to get your heart pumping to an intermediate level. They say between 120 and 145 BPM per minute. BPM is per minute, beats per minute that is. 35 minutes a day, folks. So just like you, there's a lot of time for you to shower, a lot of time for you to brush your teeth, go to work, go to sleep, whatever it is. Exercise is one of these components. Now, you can't cut corners here, unfortunately. It is something that has become ingrained in people that they can, you know, take or leave exercise to be healthy. I put it to you that that just isn't true. You have to exercise every day. Industrialization happened and people got cars and factory workers started using machines. Quality of life improved and therefore consumption improved. All these things, sedentary lifestyle plus overconsumption of food is what we're paying for now in the healthcare system, including you as taxpayers. You're spending about 65% of the money that goes towards healthcare is due to sedentary lifestyle and overconsumption. So this is something where exercise really comes in, because if you consume too much, you will be able to get away with murder if you exercise a decent amount per day. And as I said, sedentary lifestyle being the only component basically means that you're a couch potato. So thankfully, the Start Building Me system is free, and it's here to prescribe you the absolute bare minimum, folks. So you get it out of your head, no pain, no gain, spandex, signing up $1,000 a year to the gym, personal trainers for $70 a week. Forget all that stuff for the time being. This is just a daily training session between 15 and 30 minutes, depending on how many people are here and depending how much I want to do. And then I will go from this splash screen onto the video, and we'll do some squats, talk about what we did in our respective days, ask any relevant questions. Relevant needs to be stressed here. People come in like Nelson Muntz, hey, what's a million plus a million, Einstein? It's like, folks, I'm not here to answer stupid questions. As Mr. Garrison says in South Park, there are no stupid questions, only stupid people. So please take my time seriously, and I'll take your time seriously. Ask relevant questions, and when we get anybody in here, I'm specifically looking for Jazz, we'll get going. And I have ironed out my video bug. So obviously I'm 5 minutes early. I'm not expecting anybody to be here. I just thought I'd get here and set up my system properly for the first time, as I haven't been doing it recently, as I've been leaving it a little bit too late getting in here. So I thought I'd get here, chuck up the splash screen, have a welcoming message talking about what it is that I'm doing here, which I reiterate is a free training session, which is the bare minimum. And I put it to you that if you did this every day with me, your health will improve, your sleep will improve, your digestion will improve. You'll feel happier, you will feel depressed less frequently, your bowel movements will be more consistent. There are so many different components and so many different benefits. It's impossible to sit here and list them, else I'll be here for hours. Go onto Google and say, is exercise important? You know, like it's so obvious that it will be stupid to go and Google that, because I mean, if you doubt what I'm saying and you doubt that exercise is somehow beneficial for you, you've really been led astray a lot more than you should have wanted to ever have been, and hopefully I can put you on the right path. It should be fun, folks. It should be something that you enjoy doing. I love exercise. It's the best part of my day. It's the best part of my dog's day. Getting out into the sun, albeit too much, whilst living in tropical far north Queensland in Australia. You got to take the bitter with the sweet. And if I look old and haggard by 70, well, guess what? All people who are 70 look old and haggard. So it doesn't really matter. It's like the people who say, oh, you're going to look great with all those tattoos when you're 70. It's like, I don't really think people who are getting tattoos care about what they look like when they're 70, folks. Like, go and say that to a big biker or a cage fighter. Oh, bro, you're going to look like a dumbass when you're 70 with all those tattoos. Yeah, you sound like a dumbass saying that. Anyway, I'll stick to what I am saying. Exercise is great. Exercise should be free. There should be no special gimmicks or machines or systems that you're required to pay for. Time is the only component here that's essential. So if you have your time, your 15 minutes, come in here. You don't have to stay for the full 15, 30 minutes. Come here, do some squats. Tell me how many squats you've done. Tell me what your goal is. It's important to have a goal. Are you trying to get stronger? Are you trying to improve your flexibility? Are you improving your conditioning for sport? Whatever it is, folks, subscribe, stay tuned, ask me questions. My goal here with Start Building Me is to make everybody get a healthy habit with exercise and to sift out through all the garbage that is aggregated on the internet about what is essential. It's simply just not true. Yes, that's fine. I have set it up that way for the time being. As I was just setting up my system with a splash screen, I'm going to have an introduction video whilst I just wait for people to come. And then presto, we're in business. Now, well, that looks slightly more orange than I expected. It looks okay in one screen, and it looks a bit orange in the other screen. What do you reckon? It'll do? I can live with it, if you can. So, as I said, what we're trying to do, folks, here is use a bit of time to get your heart rate up, to breathe. My heart rate's up. I was trying to kickstart my bike after it stalled and I flooded the carburetor. Started first time. Perfect. That's all we want to hear. So what are we doing? We're doing this, folks. It's called a squat. Like when you're sitting down on a chair and standing back up. And so what's involved in a squat? Not much. And people still don't know how to do it, right? Have you ever been taught to sit down on a chair? Most people haven't been taught to sit down on a chair. They just sort of collapse onto it. What you're supposed to do, folks, is sit back into your heels. You can have your arms going out a little bit if you want to counterbalance. Obviously, with a squat, we do that as a counterbalance. The weight goes to the outside of your feet, which is why you've got an arch in your feet, because the weight shouldn't go into the inside of your feet. That's how you'll damage your knees. So you line up your feet. Weight goes to the outside of your feet, drive your toes into the ground, you're sitting back into your heels. It's a lot of things to think about, which is why the more you do it, the better you'll get at it, like anything. Breathe in, weight to the outside of your feet. If your back goes, if you've got a bad back like me, from my motorcycle nicknamed the Angel of Death, which I just got back last night. So I'll try and stay healthy, folks, and I'll be back without being injured. Try and keep your back as straight as possible. So if you've got bad flexibility like me, you might want to set yourself up wider. It's called a sumo stance, and it will keep your back a little bit straighter. Doesn't have to be too straight, folks, just as long as it's not doing that. If you're rolling your back out like that, that's not what you do. You want to keep your spine so it's curved in. So more or less like that. So I can live with that. If I have a little bit of forward momentum, not momentum, the angle of my back, even if it's still in a good neutral position, if it rolls forward, I can live with that. And just think, you can either have a cadence like this, and I'll put my clock on, so we'll call it functional strength training, and we'll see how high I can get my heart rate just doing this as a proof of concept. Doing this is way better than walking. But, like I said, walking's awesome as well. So we're at 115 BPM. Crank it up. 117. I'll try and get up to 120 and then I'll have a break. Have a break and breathe. Do some neck circles. Arm circles. I won't flip my arms around too hard because I've got my lanyard mic right there next to my shoulders, so I'll try and make it a little bit more comfortable for the people watching. But look, 116 BPM still. I'm breathing, folks. It's a labored breathing. It's not a labored breathing from eating tacos too quickly, or it's not a labored breathing from walking up a single flight of stairs. That's what I really want to get people out of the habit of. If you find yourself struggling and gasping for breath through doing a very little bit of exercise, that's not really a great sign, right? And I'm not trying to be, you know, all doom and gloom on people. The beauty is you can get from that to being quite healthy in about 2 to 3 months with a daily training session. Even if you come here 15 minutes to the 30 minutes, as I said, depending on how many people are here, it's all you need to do for your health, folks. If you're doing a squat, you're fighting against gravity, so your whole body weight is, well, not your whole body weight, obviously your upper body, but nonetheless, you're pumping that weight up with some big muscles, your lower back, your glutes, your hamstrings, and your quadriceps. So your posterior chain plus your quadriceps, obviously some stabilization. Excuse me, had a protein shake, so I've got indigestion because I was pushed it down my throat too quickly. Disgusting. Anyway, you'll have stability from your feet, from your calves. Everything comes into play with these compound movements. Compound meaning more exercises in one. So weight goes down, weight goes back up. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out on the way up. So in, and we're back down to 108, but nonetheless, still better than nothing, like I'm always saying. So I'm going to keep that blood pumping. Do some neck circles, gentle neck circles. Here's some wrist circles. Elbows, everything that we've done. So the opposite leg to the side that you're going. Just imagine boxing. Get that spine moving. So I'll be able to play some golf this week and not break my spine and die. Do some ankle rolls. Everything that you don't really put through those range of motion, folks. Something that's really essential. It's like, think of it, it's like a calcified joint that you're trying to lubricate and trying to scratch off the oxidized garbage off, or not oxidized necessarily, but anything that doesn't get used obviously hardens, just like in real life machinery and outside of your body stuff. So you've really got to move everything through that full range of motion frequently for it to be working properly and to heal properly. So I'll try and do some more, do 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can be in your room doing this, stand in front of your desk while thinking of a calculus problem, or a computer science problem, programming, thinking about what build you're going to put for your character in League of Legends, whatever it is that you want to do, folks, this is something that can supplement it. So like me, I've got a standing workstation, I might be trading, and whilst I'm trading, I'll make the trade, or just before I put the trade down, I might hesitate, and I might just step back, I might do some push-ups, or sitting back into my heels, weight going to the outside of my feet, digging in my toes, do a few squats. Get yourself breathing. You relax, folks. It's counterintuitive to think that your anxiety goes down when your heart rate goes up. So really try and get a little bit of cardiovascular exercise during the day. Nothing makes me feel better than cardiovascular exercise. Absolutely nothing, folks. I love weight training. It's good fun. But getting outside and having a run, going and walking, riding your push bike, bicycle, whatever you want to call it, there's nothing better for your health than that. So I'm really trying to encourage that in supplement to doing this as well. Let's try and do another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and take a break. Heart rate's going up. Should be feeling better. Pump those blood vessels. I'll be interested to see. I'm getting a CT angiogram in 3 weeks. I want to see the condition of my blood vessels in my heart. I've had some issues, I think, recently. It could just be getting older, but it's no point hesitating with health. It's worthy money to see how that's going to go. Excuse me, folks. I feel like $1 million though, so it's just a pedantic thing. And that's why Medicare wouldn't cover it, and why it's costing me $630. Medicare, mark my words, I said 10 years ago that there's 15 years of Medicare left. So 5 more years, I reckon we're going to be in a US-based system where it's like what is deemed essential versus elective is going to be like essential. Coronary artery bypass surgery. Oh, that's not really essential. That's an elective surgery while somebody's having a heart attack and can't breathe. I think the jig is up, folks. I think the private health cowboys have absolutely done a number with the Australian healthcare system. I tried to do my bit to stop it, but all the boomers in charge made sure that that wasn't going to happen, because I was getting in the way of their free dinners and their trips to the States to visit hospitals and stay at resorts. People don't want that, folks. People are thinking about me and not the community. And that was kind of depressing to see as somebody working in a corporate environment, and that's why I no longer do it, because we're powerless to change anything. Corporate greed is human greed. Nothing's going to change there. So that's what I'm doing here, folks. I'm trying to get you into healthcare, preventative healthcare, to avoid curative healthcare, because curative healthcare sucks, folks. If you've ever had surgery before, you know it sucks. If you don't want to get surgery, mark my words, do not ever go to surgery. Try your hardest to avoid it by doing this, folks. It's not that hard. Get your blood pumping. Think of it, breathe in. This is what we're supposed to be doing. Pumping blood around ourselves, breathing. By doing so, you're improving your ability to digest food, to sleep, to reduce anxiety, to reduce depression. These things kill. Your mind manifests depression and anxiety. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you're like, I'm depressed, I'm depressed, I'm depressed, guess what? You'll be depressed, right? If you're sitting there like, oh, anxious, I've got a test tomorrow, I'm anxious, then guess what? It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You'll make yourself anxious. A lot of chronic conditions that they're looking at now, they're saying the people didn't have it to begin with, but they've literally talked themselves into having it. And your brain is so powerful, it's like, okay, I guess I've got a bung knee, and it will, make you walk like you're trying to protect your knee because you've convinced yourself that there's something wrong, folks. Don't go to surgery. Be proactive with your health, because look, It's all fun and games until you're lying in an ambulance or lying in hospital, and I've been there before, folks, and it sucks. So really, preventative medicine's so new school. Doctors hate it. Doctors hate it. Listen to Dave's single trick that will make you stay alive. It's really simple. The doctors don't want to tell you, folks, just eat healthy and do exercise, because then they're out of a racket. Good doctors will tell you that, for sure. But the other doctors, they make money for cutting you open. And guess what? It's like a mechanic. If you say, I think there's something wrong with my transmission, they'll look at it and they say, yeah, there's something wrong with your transmission. We need to fix it. Go to a doctor and say, I think you need to cut something out of me, a specialist, a surgeon. They'll probably find something to cut out of you, folks. So don't get there ever. Take it from me. No, I'm not a doctor, but I worked with doctors for 17 years. Doctors are great people. I've got no problems with them, but they will be the first people to tell you if you can avoid surgery and avoid injury, blah, 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 then obviously do it. This is what I'm trying to get you to do, is to start building yourself. And it's simple, and it's not daunting, and it's 10 or 15 minutes. We talk some BS in here. We talk about games. We talk about crypto. We talk about news. We talk about philosophy. We talk about anything that you want to talk about, as long as it's not complete rubbish. If it's rubbish, I'll just straight out ignore you, folks. As my coaches used to say growing up, if you want to waste time, there's the door. It's that simple, folks. But I don't want to be there. I want to answer real questions. I want to help people. That's what this is all about. I'm not doing this for money, folks. I'm doing it for the love of it, because I really believe that it improves people's lives. How? Because I've seen it improve every single person's life that I've trained. Every single one of them, without fail, has gotten stronger, healthier. You know, every single aspect of their life is improved by doing this. So it's not something, I'm not a salesman. It's something that I've seen had results, so it's something that I'm willing to dedicate some time to. And again, not that much, 20, 30 minutes, and then I'm back. What was I doing? Not watching House of Dragon episode 8, because it sucks and I'm not going to watch it. I'm watching it. I'm watching it like a sucker. No, I'll let you know how it goes tomorrow, what this episode is. I watched Book of Power, Canaan, Raising Canaan, the second season, I think it is, which I really enjoy. It's roughly based on the life of Curtis Jackson, is it? 50 Cent? Hey, Benny. I subscribed to your Substack today, so I'm looking forward to that. And awesome to see you, man. Jazz, that's Ben, is like my brother from another mother who we've been mates since we were 13 in Bahrain. He's doing actually some cool stuff at the moment. Good to see you, man. Sort of a decentralized lab work company. Obviously, I've got to read a lot more about it, but the idea is awesome, because as a computer scientist, decentralized everything is the future. And after working for corporations, the sinking ships, they're garbage. It's a new time where I think it's going to be back to the blacksmith and the baker and the butcher and the hunter in villages, where we decentralize our businesses to go and do specific things for smaller communities that we can scale up from that, instead of dumping a bunch of money to corporations who go and pay off lobbyists and then absolutely pull us over the table with products and sell us out. So awesome, man. Really good to see you. And I've seen you comment on my videos, so I know you're lurking in here every time. And like I'm always saying, I'm trying to be telling you for years and years now, the bare minimum's good enough, you know? Yeah, mate, don't get me started on corporations. What you're doing is really special, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's going on with it. And yeah, we'll talk about that later. Anyway, even you're up in the morning, I'm guessing. Yes, I can't even think of the time. See, the brain damage, folks, traumatic brain injury that I've received from combat sports over my life, and too much alcohol makes it hard to think what GMT is now. I'm guessing, I don't know, it's pretty early. Anyway, do some squats, wake yourself up, man. Hope you get a cup of tea, cup of coffee, something in there, and subscribe to the Twitch chat, or I'm not sure if you're on YouTube, does it say? What? 5 messages were deleted by moderator. I'll have to get back to Ben and see what that was about. It kicked him out. Please refrain from spamming symbols. Huh. Symbols? Did he even type any symbols, Jazz? Yeah, maybe I've got to play around with that. Symbols? For 1 second. Ah, gotcha. So you're back there already. Okay, sweet. I might have to pay a little bit of a visit there to my chat bot and see it's getting a little bit... That's pretty cool that it does that, you know. A couple of kids come in and say some BS and it lets them talk BS and it doesn't like exclamation marks. That's stupid. Anyway, drop to the ground and give me 20. Just joking. This is no more push-ups in Start Building Me. Just trying to get people to do squats. So I'll give you the rundown as I always do. Weight going to the outside of your feet because we've got arches in our feet for a reason. You don't want your knees rolling in. That's what does damage. The weight goes to the outside of your feet, sitting back into your heels, breathing in and breathing out. Think of it like a bellows. Ben is educated. He'll know what a bellows is. I don't have to explain it to him like a kid. It's an air pump, folks. It's what blacksmiths used to use to heat up stuff when they were, making swords and stuff like that. Or when we go camping and we want to make a massive fire. And so it's curious, what time is it if Ben? Because I've always thought I wanted to make a morning session for Europe and then do a morning session here as well, which would be 7 o'clock. Again, oh man. Spamming symbols. It's out of control. I'll fix it up. 10 a.m. Okay, that's not too bad then. Sweet, I can even do it. I want to do outside sessions as well. I'm just getting sort of a banner printed up from my printers and some sort of bamboo sort of fencing put up. It doesn't like colon either. That's weird, man. 10 o'clock is 20 past 7 here. That's good. So don't spam symbols. Be careful. Like I said, I'll have a word with my employee, the chatbot, after this because it's obviously a little bit ridiculous. But my goal here is to get people in here. This is longer than I normally do it, so we'll call it quits in about 3 minutes. So go for broke. Hopefully you're going to have a good day. I know, Jazz, hopefully you've had a good day and you're winding down. Like I said, after Start Building Me, go have 20 cups of coffees, have some beers if it's nighttime. Doesn't matter, you can get away with murder as long as you get the blood pumping from the side. Sitting back into your heels, weight going to the outside of your feet. If your back is rolling, stand wider apart. Your arms can go out as a counterbalance. People sometimes grip their wrists like that. And this is like, doing 10 squats is like doing a kilometre of walking, right? So even though I really like walking as a sort of ancillary sort of support of meditation or whatever, just by doing a few squats now, my heart rate's up at 120 BPM. Happy days. Like that's really all you have to do, folks, as I'm prescribing here in preventative medicine, is to get your heart rate up, increase your blood pressure, and let it chill out. That sinusoidal wave that we see throughout life is something that I'm really trying to drum into people. Because look, I'm breathing hard, 130 BPM from that. Done this for 30 minutes, we're just here for another minute. And man, you've made my day. I love that Jazz comes here every day. He's one of my mates. He's not in Sydney anymore. He's further down the south coast. I'm up the north. And to have a mate here from the UK who I've been mates with for nearly 30 years now. Unreal, man, who's doing some kick-ass stuff in a business, doing it by his own rules and playing a game that is harder to do than just being a corporate lackey, but it's very rewarding, man, and I'm expecting big things. There you go. Right on, man. You guys would like each other. Jazz was described as the most Taoist of our friends, despite being a progressive death metal guitarist in a band that a couple of my friends have. He's a very peaceful, kind human being, and exactly like you, Ben. So it's good that you guys are virtually acquainted now, and like I said, hopefully you've got some blood pumping around your body. Get it going. 10, 9, 8. Oh yeah. Yes, and Jazz, Ben's a drummer. Ben plays in bands as well, I forgot. And my blood's pumping. I'm gonna go stir up my dogs. Gonna blast out the carburetor in my dirt bike that I smashed myself on. Check out the Townsville and Garage video. I'll show you the links for that later. And Ben, seriously mate, thank you so much for coming and dropping by. It's really cool to see you, man. And love you guys both. You're both exceptional human beings, is something that's been quoted to me in 2015, and man, right back at you. Take it easy. 10 o'clock, man. Come back. 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you've got. Pump some iron. Have a good night, folks. All morning.